Well, hello. Hello, my fellow sensitive people. What a situation we all find ourselves in at this beautiful brunch. It is Sunday, January 10th, 2021. 11:03 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We've got a remote. We're going to do a collective, and we're going to do some blitzes today. We're going to have a little fun. Mila is off being her mischievous self. First things first, technical stuff. Can everybody hear me okay? How's the sound? We're good? What a wicked situation the president finds himself in. My goodness. Oh, I forgot to click the fundraiser thing. Yes, we are still doing the, but when I went on, I forgot to, you're supposed to click it, but that's okay. We've got till the, end of the month to raise $5,000. We've already raised, I think, almost 4,000, right? My goal was for this channel was to raise 5,000 for Feed America by the end of the month. It succeeded really well, actually. We're doing great. All right. So before we get started, I just want to say be sure and share, like, subscribe, and click the bell notification if you haven't done so yet so that you can be notified about all our upcoming videos. And we want to thank you for spending this lovely Sunday with us. A couple of announcements. I've decided to join, hang out with Nina of Nina's Corner and Sheila of Celtic Tarot. They've become friends of mine as they are beautiful women. And so Friday night friends, I'll be doing with Sheila and Nina's Corner. Be sure and check that out. It'll be we'll be doing it on Celtic Tarot. We're going to be shooting 5 o'clock live Friday. I think we go live at like 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, but we're changing the hours. It's going to become like a daytime show. Instead of The View, you know how you have The View? The View with Whoopi Goldberg and Joyce Behar. Well, now you've got the Tarot Remote View with instead of Whoopi Goldberg, you have a Celtic Tarot. She's the head desk, and I'm going to be like, I think I have to be like the woman that's always fighting with Joy Behar. I'll be like Joy Behar, and Nina can just be her beautiful self. But so we're going to be doing that. It's like The View. We get together, we talk about hot topics, we throw cards. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so let me give gratitude and say hello to everybody. We're starting with Greeter TK. Thank you, Greeter TK, for giving up your time and hanging with us and moderating things. Super Queen Bees in 45 is in the house. Hello. Susan Brochin is collecting names and zip codes of people who are looking for buddies in their area. We know that there's a lot of stuff going on right now, both in the United States and outside the US. People having trouble getting food, people who've been laid off from their jobs, homelessness, etc. A lot of people can't rely on ambulances, etc. in their area. A lot of people who are alone, isolated. A lot of people who just need a friend right now. We are trying to make that happen. You can go to you can write Friends of Whimsy. I believe if I can have Susan or somebody check the email address. I think it's friendsofwhimsy@gmail.com. Send your basic information along with your zip code, and we will try to find a buddy in your area. This is especially important for people who don't have friends and family that they can lean on. Hi, Schoolie392Z. Welcome. Zamee Robinson's in the house. Welcome. Anna Screeks Rising G. Did I say that right? Welcome. Constance Pleasance. You are constantly pleasant. Judy. Hello, hello. Judy, Judy, Judy. Pierre Walker, thank you for your help. Greenlight 77, hello, hello. All right, we will keep saying hi to everybody. I apologize, the donation button is not put up today. You would have to go but if you go to the video before this one, you can click on that if you'd like to donate to the feedamerica.org. If you would like to make a donation today just to support the channel or my coffee, that's cool too, but you don't have to, it's free. Thank you, Mojo. Yes, I want to check on Clarence Thomas's wife because, oh my gosh, remember how I kept getting the hit that Thomas was leaving? I'm wondering if this is at all, what do y'all think? Do you think that this is going to play a part in why we keep seeing Thomas leaving, or do you think it's a health issue or a combination of both? Or I don't know. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. Let us go ahead now and start with the remote view on Donald Trump. Is everybody ready for my remote view from last night? Or do we have questions beforehand? Yeah, we'll do an RV of, there is a lot going on, Susan. Hi, Philip, good to see you here. Hi, Letitia. Okay, we're ready. All right. So when I went into the energy of Donald Trump, I felt like the security, here's the thing, the security, Homeland Security, the FBI, everybody was kind of numb and in denial, minimize, trivialize, discard, debase, disregard. Oh, thank you, Elisa Rufus. That's very kind of you. So what happened is that people kind of went into this, they were kind of in this kind of denial that the president and his henchmen put them in. Even now, if you go to Fox News, if you look at the interview with Lindsey Graham, there's this minimizing and trivializing of a coup against the United States where they were going to kill people. It's like, oh, he's learned his lesson. He's learned his, it's just unbelievable. And reality is going to be reintroduced to Washington, D.C., because this situation is going to change very quickly. Thank you, Letitia. That's very kind. All right. So right now, it looks like when you go into the energy, and other people that are learning the heart-centered remote viewing technique, if you want to have him be the target, that would be cool for a homework assignment before Tuesday. Thank you, Lynn. You're very kind. And that is going to go for coffee. Hey, if I'm fueled with coffee, I can just keep going. All right. So listen, it looks like DT is currently under what appears to be some type of house arrest. And that's because of a coup that was attempted. It looks like the FBI is going to arrest high-ranking people in mass raids all over the country. We're going to be seeing mass raids in Florida, Michigan, Pennsylvania, etc. The FBI Homeland, just boom. We're going to be starting to see a lot of raids, and we'll throw on that if people want me to do that. But in terms of the feeling right now with Donald Trump, as I sit in his energy, yeah, go for it. People want to know if they can have him be the target. If you feel safe enough, if you feel like you can protect yourself enough to take on an assignment like that. I try to have it be safe for people who are taking the class, like have them look for a bunny, because I don't know if people are ready. But if you feel you want to take on an assignment like that, put yourself in his shoes, go for it. For class. But when I went in, I felt like my phone had been taken away, my communications had been taken away, there were limited, my phone privileges, my Twitter, I was basically under house arrest, my movements were under control. It looks like Article 25, for all intents and purposes, has basically been issued, and it looks like Nina's corner, when she had done a throw on it, she felt like Nancy Pelosi was already in charge. I feel the same way. I feel like it's Nancy Pelosi, the military, our security are in control. I think that Mike Pence has bowed out, and by abdicating, he has basically allowed Article 25 to take effect. I think the president is under control. I don't think he can do whatever he wants, because I think for all intents and purposes, he's being viewed as somebody who engaged in sedition and attempted to overthrow the American government. It's being taken very seriously by security, and he's basically already arrested. That's how it looks to me. I don't think he can come and go as he pleases. I don't think he can talk to the press. This guy is under control. The extent to which he's under control is something I would like to see with throws. Thank you, Alwanza. That is very kind of you for the donation. So as a result of that, he's gagged, he's controlled. He and his followers are going to have trouble communicating with one another. They do communicate offline through walkie-talkie, etc., particularly when they're helping people get to safe harbor, because people are moving from compound to compound, from safe house to safe house, across states, etc., because of the nature of how these homegrown terrorist organizations are organized. Because the GOP has they're afraid to say anything because they're afraid of their own constituency. Thank you, Maxine. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. So basically, the Republican Party, they no longer have the mouthpiece. What's happened with the Republican Party is because they literally fear for their life, their safety, etc. And what has happened is that they're being told just to say nothing, to step back. And it's almost like a quiet Article 25. And so the feeling here is that many Republicans are simply being gagged and told to say nothing, step back, and allow the feds and everybody involved to come in along with the new administration. I'm surprised that Lindsey Graham is talking at all, considering the fact that he is also facing criminal charges. Lindsey Graham is facing criminal charges in the state of Georgia. He could likely be charged for attempting to steal an election. So we're looking at state charges against certain people as well. And Lindsey Graham is very likely going to be forced to resign. I'm seeing a lot of people leaving early. I'm seeing Lindsey Graham leaving early. I'm seeing Mitch McConnell leaving early. It's a horrible end. I mean, they literally were beaten up before they left. Thank you, Laura. So that's he's arrested, basically. That's how serious this is. The guy is basically, Trump is in jail. He can't call. He's got people watching him. He's got federal agents in the room with him. This is bad for him. He's in trouble. Thank you, Angela. So, that's interesting when you put yourself in Ivanka Trump's shoes, because she was the lonely one that went it alone. I would not be surprised. Remember, do you guys all remember? Thank you, Joy. Number one fan. That's cute. Rosemary's got a nice little gift there too. Thank you so much. Okay, so remember when we had the conversation between Ivanka and Jared? Does anybody who here remembers the remote view we had a couple years ago, where, go back and look at it. It's 2 years ago. We document everything. We got into a remote view on Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen's offices were raided, along with signatures and documents that the feds were looking for about crimes they had been told to destroy anyway. So in that remote, Ivanka, he had said that he had called Ivanka Trump. It had been taped, and he had told her that the feds had everything. He called her baby girl, which led me to think he felt like he was one of the Trump's kids. You know, he had at one point had a close relationship with Ivanka. It looks like he had said that the feds had her signature over on documents, and that the feds would be talking to her. Michael Cohen told her at that point in the remote that she should cooperate in the deposition because the feds already had everything. Now we're 2 years into it, and it looks like Ivanka and Jared will take that advice. A second remote, when we went to that remote took us to a second remote. Again, you can go back 2 years to, if you want to actually see the remotes. Maybe I'll link it to this so people can actually see what we witnessed in the remote state. It looks like Jared had asked Ivanka to turn on her father, if we're going to interpret it based on what we know right now, because he didn't want his children growing up with a parent in jail. That's what he said. He also, Ivanka Trump had lied. She had lied about her signatures, and she had also lied to Jared. So at that point, a year and a half, 2 years ago, they already knew that a deposition was coming, that Ivanka was going to be called to the deposition, and that she was going to be expected to tell the truth and to turn state's evidence against her father, and I believe she did, based on those previous remotes. If anybody else is getting a different hit, this would be the time you can go ahead and share it. We can open the floor with other psychics, readers, you know, everybody can go. It's a salon, so we have an open forum here. If other people are getting a different hit, if people don't agree with me, we can take a few minutes to have that conversation. And then after that, we're going to go in and do the collective reading for the group. He's not free to come and go as he likes. He's got feds. He's got people all over him. He can't just make a phone call. The other thing I wanted to mention about this remote is the dead officer in DC. He was personally known. He'd been there for a while. He'd been personally known. When I went into the energy, people knew this man. People said good morning to him. I got the impression from this energy that Lisa Murkowski may have known this person, said good morning to him, coming and going from work. These were people who they had a friendly relationship with the police, the Capitol Police. They protected them. It was a friendly good morning. It was a family. You know, at Christmas, they had Christmas parties and Christmas setups and get-togethers and gifts. And it was kind of like a little community. Well, that guy is dead now. And the President of the United States is not even flying the flag at half staff in the Capitol. Here's the thing that the President of the United States doesn't understand. He doesn't understand, when you go into this energy, that the Capitol is a little family. It's a little family, a little community, just like a local pharmacy where everybody's working together, and you've got the boss coming in every day and everybody else coming in every day, and the security guard saying, Merry Christmas, hi, and then, hi, Joe, good to see you. He doesn't understand that that community that they built has been decimated, and that people they cared about are in the hospital or dead or whatever. And so because he doesn't understand that, he doesn't understand that this attack went against their family, their community, where they go to work every day. And because somebody they personally knew and had a friendly relationship with, and because they can see the emotional state of the people. Thank you, Tamara Rose, that's very kind. Because they can see the crying, because they can see how upset the staff is when they go to work. The fact that the staff didn't deserve this, the fact that the people who risked their lives to protect Congress didn't deserve this and somebody died. They are acutely aware of this. And that is why this president went too far and he can't come back from it. Thank you, Mel. And I will use it for coffee. Thank you, Ms. Sharon. Very kind. All right, we're going to, I think we're ready now to go into the collective because we're already at 11:23, and then we'll do about a half hour of blitzes. Sound good? I don't know if he is allowed. Let's see, Noel, because he looked like he was arrested and he didn't have, he looked very controlled, but I'll go in again if you like. Let's do the collective first for this group. Give you all a reading. Hi, Mark. Good to see you. And yeah, let's see what we find. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the community, for the people we love, for the planet, and even to help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Hey, Miss Sharon. Oh, I got to look at that picture Miss Sharon just... Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Wow. That's a really cool design. Can people make their own designs? Thank you, Ana Masita. Very appreciative. All right, let's give our group a little reading. Okay. What do we need to know to help us in our week? Everything is so crazy right now. Where we are at right now, a lot of people are really, boy, a lot of you are all hunkering down and really getting your stuff together. You can see a nice mastery card as the base of the matter. So a lot of people have really taken it to heart here. You can't control what's going on in DC. You can't that and the other, but a lot of you have really begun to pursue your personal interest, your mastery, being about your business. A lot of people have also begun to move on from the past. You can see the karma card here is a 6 cups, not returning to the past, no love lost. I think for a lot of people, we're getting closure in different ways with our past, coming to terms with our past. There's a lot of closure work and spiritual work being done, but in the group, healing old relationships. It's going well. Thank you, Jackie. Where we're at right now, see, this is a group that's been doing a lot of meditation. This is my meditation card. It's when you stop and assess a situation. It's to go into a deep state of silence or meditation. The fact that the base card is a mastery card is a good sign. What I like about this card is it's in relationship to mastery, is it's a feeling that the person has stopped and begun to just focus on their desk, focus on what is in front of them. Unfortunately, what crosses us is violence, aggression, police, it can be also the COVID card. So there's a violent wind right over us. And I think it has to do with all of these changes that are going on. The protest, there was more rioting in downtown Portland last night. The fact that the nation is up in the air, the attempted coup, the virus, etc. The fact that our infrastructure is really being stressed to the max. Both the police and military, but also first responders. It's just the stress of it all is really taking a toll. The health of the group is coming up in terms of mental health. 4th house, I think of it as like the crown, the mental health, the energy that's coming in. There's a feeling of just exhaustion in the entire group. Being in your own garden is the 3rd house. So we're taking good care of ourselves. We may be feeling good about ourselves and where we are in our own lives, but not necessarily good about the direction of what's happening out there. The outside world is taking a toll. We're coming out of a state of grief, trying to, grief for our nation, grief for the planet. An Ace of Cups is coming in. So a desire or a willingness or somebody reaching out, offering healing. There's a healing energy coming to us and to the nation. Fool takes a leap of faith. So there's this feeling like optimism about the future, despite the fact that everything is so dark right now. The other or the adversary in relationship to us has taken a hit. So I think this has to do with a lot of the political stuff that's going on right now if you are a Democrat, you're feeling pretty happy right now because we won everything. But we have to wait. We're watching the mess. We're watching them ransack and destroy everything. And we just have to sit back, and we know how much money and work it's going to take to clean this mess up. But unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with. The hope and the fear, the legacy, the family secrets coming out. The 10 of Pentacles is the legacy card inverted. What the heck did we inherit? I think that we're going to be able to some extent to reach across the aisle, even to people we may have conflict with, but it's not going to be an easy recovery. It's a slow recovery as sanity returns to the country. I feel also that some of the people that work at Fox News could be facing possible legal challenges and more lawsuits, and possibly even federal lawsuits, because they may be held partially responsible for some of this. I think Sean Hannity actually could be facing some legal pressures of his own. There's something about, I keep seeing this, feds around Fox and some of the other news agencies, which will now be seen as, it's not free speech, it's actually being used to organize sedition, etc. I think that the feds are going to come up with a way to go after these types of fake news agencies, because this is looking like the feds are coming in. As for us, I think we're fine. I think the only thing, the health challenge that I see for this group right now is too much emphasis on, the health challenge for us seems to be the current political environment. But what's amazing is that the group as a whole seems to be really doing well in terms of being about our business, securing our homes, our families, etc., and doing what we're supposed to do. That's very good, and that's going to be very positive for us in the coming months. Okay. The FCC is going in. We can look at that because they now can link part of what was said on record to potentially trying to incite riots, sedition, etc. So the cops are going to, it's not going to be, they're not going to be able to do anything they want anymore. Yeah, Hannity wanted to get in with Trump, and yeah, I don't see much of a future there. But we can go ahead and look at Fox. We're going to start the blitzes now. We usually start, for people who don't want to get the collective, the remotes, usually around 11:30 is when we start with the blitzes. Okay, are we ready? All right, we're going to look at first the investigation into the coup attempt. Let me put a cloth down because it's a little too loud. My shuffling gets to be too loud on the. Soften the sound a little bit. Better? Some people say it's too loud. What is going on with the investigation? Who was responsible? Can we get any more information on the attack on the Capitol? Everybody wants the Pfizer vaccine because of the fact that they don't want preservative. Moderna doesn't have a lot of preservative either. The attack on the Capitol is still a problem. There are still people that don't want to cut off their relationship with this administration and refuse to admit that it's this administration that caused the problem. You can also see the Knight of Wands coming in. That's a southwesterly direction. It's interesting. Somebody had mentioned that Trump was supposed to be in Texas on Tuesday, and I had felt like we were going to see problems coming out of Texas, possibly attempts to steal the election, not necessarily by stealing votes or anything like that, but potentially making it harder for people to vote, etc. A relationship is over. What I think is happening is that I think it goes back to the meditation we did with Lindsey Graham, where Lindsey Graham had said that they had reached a consensus in the Senate. I think that they have reached a consensus in the Senate. If this guy is basically under Article 25 already for all intents and purposes, and he can't do anything, and he's completely under control, and if Mike Pence has washed his hands of the guy and said, I can't issue Article 25 because they're already trying to lynch me, great. You give it to me, Nancy, I'll take care of this. So that appears to be what has happened. Is by default, Pence has basically stepped back, and Pelosi and our security have come in and taken control of the situation. That is the best way to describe it. Here's what I think the Senate realizes with these cards. They realize that there's no future with this. Look at this. Partnership ending, and then an inverted ace of wands. They know this president is in a lot of trouble. They know this president is currently, for all intents and purposes, under some kind of gag or Article 25. They've taken away his toys. They've taken away his precious. They've taken away his Twitter account. It was interesting when I first sat in his Donald Trump's energy as Donald Trump and tried to put myself in his shoes. The first thing that happened when I got my Twitter account taken away is I'm always looking for, oh, thank you, Celtic Tarot. Can be reversed, all of his pardons. No, I don't think that we have to worry about his pardons, because the people that got pardoned will just be charged with more crimes. So it doesn't really matter. Nothing changed. That's right. Mike Pence's life has been threatened. He's shocked and horrified. Remember when we sat in the meditation of Mike Pence and the song that Mike Pence was singing in the end? All my trials, Lord, soon be over. That was his song. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. Too late, my brother, too late, but never mind. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. That's his song. These are trials. On some level, working in this administration was a trial. I think that they did. I think there was a deal with McConnell. I think McConnell has always come up with ways to control this president. I think now the fact that they lost control, he basically, this is insane. He ran a coup to destroy the guy at a time when Congress was in session. Everybody could have gotten killed. Thank you, Christopher. But this is the Senate, no relationship. It's going nowhere. Trapped, the relationship they can't get out of, moving on, trying to get away from him. It's interesting that the card being used is a card that denotes the Southwest, which would lead me to think that there's going to be a hard break between this president and Texas. So Ted Cruz has to do something really dramatic at this point, because unfortunately I don't see him leaving. They're no longer defending the president. This is the fourth house. They're now looking to see what deals they can have with the new administration. Look at that, Lover sits in the third house. The past placement for the Senate, it's over. Look at that. This is the past. This is the fifth house. The sixth house for the Senate, Pelosi. I think Pelosi is the president. I think Nina got it right. I think Marie's Table got it right. Marie's Table predicted it. Pelosi's trying to smooth things out. Here she is in position of power in the next couple of days. This is the near future, by the way. It's the FBI in the 8th house. She's working with the feds. Hopes and fears, the end of this administration. Also physical death. And then the final outcome, inverted page of swords. Why? Why is there an inverted page of swords? Because, oh, I see. Inverted page of swords, and it's over. God, stop. They've been told to hunker down, stay quiet, not speak to the press, and there's going to be a bunch of information that's going to be given over to the FBI, and then the FBI is going... People are quietly, the feds are talking to the Senate, Congress, etc., and getting depositions from everybody to determine who knew what, and they're cooperating, and the feds are coming in. You can see here the clarification is an Ace of Pentacles, information, and that's my feds card. So I think that the GOP is being told not to talk to the press, not to talk about this president, to hunker down, lay low, to let the feds do their raids, they're going to be privately questioning members of Congress, letting them do their investigation. And a lot of the investigation is private. It's not public information, but I think we're going to be seeing more raids, and particularly raids on compounds, which is dangerous because these people are armed to the teeth. So we're looking at potentially hundreds of Wacos, and that's the problem the feds are having. Because once those people hunker down in those compounds with women and children, etc., you've got a serious problem in a lot of locations all over the United States. So I'll do one throw right now on the militia, and this is going to be a problem. Think about it. They're armed through the teeth. They've got enough food and stockpiles of food for years. Some of them are even growing gardens inside their compounds. They're ready for years. How do you deal with this? We created the perfect storm. I'm just going to check the militias next. Look at the militia. They're not letting them off lightly, Michelle. There are going to be more charges. Those are just the first charges. Some are going to be charged with attempted murder. They're part of the prepper community, some of them. So, and prepping is a good thing, right? We all prepped during World War II. My mom used to always have a prep in the basement. We had food and stuff. It's just, and my mom canned. There are people working inside DC, security, etc., that we can't trust. You can see trickster, liar, cheater, and then the Chariot card, mobilization. They're mobile. That's what scares me. And they've got these people are just, the problem is some of them also have so much advanced military training. You're basically going against armies, rogue armies in compounds all over the United States that are ready for war. Some of them actually think like foreign armies to the extent that they are willing to negotiate with federal officials. So they're going to be stand downs. They're going to be people coming out of compounds with the feds surrounding them, trying to negotiate deals. Here come the raids. Here's the scary thing also, the FBI is undermanned. The FBI doesn't have the military wherewithal to deal with these people. You actually need an army to go in some cases. I'm feeling like they're unmanned because of the amount of military. They're so well. I mean, they've got so many bullets. They've got so much military training. They've got like people in their groups that are like generals that are well respected. They're gonna try and wave the flag for some of these people. This is like all out war with people who, it's like the military. Look at this, waving a white flag. They're protecting and giving safe harbor to some of these people and not willing to turn them over to the feds until they get certain guarantees. And there's Lady Justice. This will remain a problem for years to come. All right, we're going to go ahead and see the future of Justice Thomas's wife being in the middle of this. No, Connie. You're not going to be allowed in. All right, let's see what the future is for. Oh, Susan, that makes a lot of sense. Hi, Renee. Good to see you here. Oh, you got your rice and beans, Renee? There's so many ways to make them. I have rice. Well, I'm vegetarian, so all I eat is rice. But you can make Indian food from it, hummus. I also have cans of chickpeas, and I ordered a bottle of white wine. I don't drink, but I was going to make scallops, right? Because scallops are supposedly on the list of non-sentient things we can still eat if you're a vegetarian, because it's just a mussel. Doesn't have a brain or anything. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. I want a little bit of concentrated protein. I'm going to order some scallops, and I'll order some white wine, and I'll saute in butter and make some nice scallop wine dish. So I order everything on Instacart, my weekly groceries. They sent me everything but the scallops, and I don't drink. So that was what the marinade was going to be. So now they sent me a little tiny bottle of white wine for the marinade, but no scallops. They said, oh, we're out of scallops. I'm like, so now I got to order again from another store, see if they got anything. Very silly. All right. Does anybody know who Justice Thomas's wife's name is? What her name is? A creamy vodka sauce? I have vodka because I use it to extract herbs. A creamy vodka sauce with what? We can have clams. If you're vegetarian, you can still have supposedly clams, mussels, and scallops. Those are on the list of no central nervous system, non-sentient. They're just muscle. The bivalves. It's going to have a bivalve. They're not kosher. All right. Ginny is her name? Let's see what's going on with Ginny. She's insane. Female psychopath. She's mentally ill. She's nuts. She presents as a psychopath. It just goes to show that women can be psychopaths too. This is her first card. It's her identifier, an inverted Queen of Swords, angry. Also, the Queen of Swords is Lady Justice. It's inverted, right? So that's interesting. Where she's at, her karma card, the camera is on her, right? This is the camera. It's the frugality card. It's pulling back, and then healing card. So she's been advised to clean up the situation. Pelosi's all over it. I'm telling you, Pelosi is like the president now. Sun, she's being exposed. Abusive father in the third house. This could be Trump or her husband. Foundation, partnership is over. Also possibly, contract is over. I think that her husband could be retiring from the bench early as a result of this. No new beginnings. The feds. Hopes and fears. She exerted poor judgment. There'll be world condemnation, and the clarification for her future. Look at this. Psychopath. She's got this is the 7th house again. This is total psychopathy. She's completely out of touch with reality. She's in a lot of trouble, and I think her career is over. Because the opposition, the leadership, the feds, I think that she is facing, her career's over. It's more than that, though. This looks like she could actually be like, this person's become a pariah overnight. I want to go in one more time. Crazy. The militia are saying that they can lead. They don't need Donald Trump. They can have the revolution without him. They never felt like he was totally into it anyway. She's ruined. Thank you, Pamela. You're amazing too. She's completely confused. I'm telling you, these people are like hanging out with other people. Folie à deux. It's like they get together and they make up stories in their mind, and it's so real to them that the moon, lunatic, possible drug or alcohol problems with this individual. She was communicating with vigilantes and stuff. She was deeply into this. They did not succeed. Inverted 6 of Wands, which is the victory card inverted in the 4th house. What sits below, she is seriously examining. She has a similar, look at her past. Boy, she's in trouble. There's the psychopath. So Trump is going to try and do more stuff over the next 3 to 4 days. They've planned to do some attacks or something like that over the next 3 to 4 days. Trump is not playing nice. They have to continue to control him. He has to be controlled because you can see coming in the near future, psychopath, bad daddy. But I really think this Ginny person, look at this. This is the base of the matter because she couldn't leave the crazy. It's going nowhere. She's embarrassed herself. Also, she's become a pariah. It feels when you go into this energy like a lot of people want nothing to do with her. Like she lost a lot of support as a result of this. Huh. All right, so what's on the list next? How are we doing for time? Okay, we took care of that. All right, we'll look at Lindsey Graham's future next because people wanted to know if there would be consequences. I don't know. See, I do think he's facing state charges in Georgia. Lindsey Graham's future. Giving you the honor of resigning, the psychopath, Trump. You know, he was supposed to be the one. It's over. It's over. Now he's going to turn on Lindsey Graham. Complete confusion over his partnerships. Look at that. Same crazy. He's going to take a hit, and he's going to take a hit financially, possibly losing some sources. He's coming out of crazy. Look at that. Sun is in his third house. This person is doing some serious evaluation. The past placement for him, they lost. His future, 10 of Cups, a celebration coming in the near future because, oh, look at this. Abusive authority in relationship to him, Lady Justice. Hopes and fears, the end of his partnership. The final outcome, the Four of Pentacles. Self-examination, frugality. Defense can sometimes be pulling back or retracting. I think for Lindsey Graham, the best he can hope for at this point is to get Trump to leave. I'm concerned about further attacks and problems with Donald Trump 4 days from now, 3 to 4 days from now, which puts us Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could see more problems. Thank you, Michelle. You're very sweet. I don't really like Arnold Schwarzenegger since it came out that he was a rapist. I think he needs to go to prison too. So, I mean, so I don't know. Maybe they can have a jail cell for, great, Schwarzenegger now agrees with us, and he can advocate for us in his jail cell. People forget that there were all kinds of sexual assault allegations against him, and he has his own problems. But all right, let's look at Rudy Giuliani next. He's on the list. Schwarzenegger's a creep. He's part of why LA is financially in trouble. There's so many lawsuits that people don't know about that have taken the major studios down. Sexual assault allegations, pedophilia allegations. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't made the press. And Schwarzenegger has had a ton of allegations and lawsuits against him. He's not a nice guy. Okay, Giuliani. He's a typical Republican, I'm sorry to say. You know, trying to say things changed when this guy when everybody knew what Trump was years ago. So there's the feds. Here's the feds, right? The Queen of Pentacles is my feds card. Here's his karma. I think Giuliani, he was a fool. He was a complete fool, and he knows it. He can't get out of a situation. He's completely, where did all their money go? That's what I don't understand. How come these people are all presenting as broke? Thank you, Marie Olga. It's very sweet of you. Look at that. Poverty, foolish. His karma right now, 10 of Swords. How's that for a karma card? That's what you got to go through. You can't get out of it. And there's the feds. Emotional wreck. Also, Temperance can be a sobriety card. If it's inverted, might be having problems with his sobriety. Look at this. Poor judgment. This is his third house. Abuse of authority. His past placement. I don't know where. What the heck happened to them? They keep making all this money, but it disappears. Oh, I think it's because they thought that they were going to launch a new project. This is going to be the start of a network. They were trying to make film footage of the crowds as part of the rollout. I'm seeing they lost the contract. They went too far, man. What did they expect? Nobody wants to have anything to do with them. Look at this. Look at all their money cards. Look at this. They lost so much money from this because of how they handled it. It fell apart on them. Hopes and fears. Nobody wants to have anything to do with them. Giuliani's finished, and it has to do with the money. I think he's going to get raided. I think Giuliani's career is finished. Look at this. What a horrible ending. What a horrible ending. There's nothing positive about Giuliani's cards. Nothing is positive. He's completely wiped out. This is the base of the reading. This is the summary of the reading. That's Giuliani. The truth is that you can read with one card if you look at the base. It's finished. He's toast. Well, Lauren Boebert. Interesting. That chicken dish sounds. I can't wait until they start releasing the chicken in the next year or two when the chicken from the cells. I can't wait. I'm going to be able to go back to having my chicken and rice. I got no problems with it. All right. Thank you, everyone who can only stay for an hour. We are at the top of the hour. We will be staying on for an after-hours show, but is at our way. We usually end the show after about an hour for people who have to get back to work. We understand that not everybody can stay for more than an hour. So we're going to hang out for a minute or two, just talking amongst ourselves. If you do have to take off, thank you. And I will see you next week. Be sure and share, like, subscribe, and click the bell notification if you haven't done so yet, so that you can be alerted about further videos. If you're still trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com, and we'll see you all next week. And if you're still hanging with us, now you can put your feet up and we can talk politics. We're just going to let those people go. So, new. We're going to start an after-hours show. Woohoo! Hey, Mercedes Cauldron, thank you very much. We got a couple people taking off, and that's cool. Hi, Tina. Where's Melania? Good question. Hi, Noel. You're still hanging with me. Let's do this. Let's fall in love. Be sure and check out Celtic Tarot Sheila. She has the weekly view, The View. We're calling it Tarot. Sheila was working with the name. Something like she was going to call it the Tarot and the Remote View or something. I don't know. It's going to be fun. Yeah, now's the time to take your potty breaks. We always give people 2 minutes. Okay, let's look. I'm ready to start up again if other people are. If people we're going to take off. Okay, let's figure out what's up with Trump. I'll get a significator out. I use the King of Swords for Trump. And what we can do is we can go in and just check. I'll try and access his mental state. But I didn't feel he had any power when I went in. I felt like they had gone in and he didn't have any power. Not only that, but he's isolated. He can't talk to everybody anymore. But let's go ahead and look and see if he's going to the border on Tuesday and what's going on. The problem is nobody knows who the president of the United States is right now. So we're vulnerable to attack. Two of Pentacles. His karma, he lost. Ace of Pentacles is like the Ace of Spades, inverted. It's victory. If it's straight up, it's loss. It's a huge loss. He is a loser, right? Trump is a loser. The laurel wreath, he lost it all and he did it publicly. And he had to do it. Here's the thing you feel when you go into this energy. They want Donald Trump to call off his dogs. That was what the concession was about. But he hasn't done enough. The feds aren't happy. He hasn't done enough. He has to, if he wants to avoid dying in prison, he's going to have to go on, do something very embarrassing. And that is that he's going to have to publicly say that none of that crap is real. And that he lost the election fair and square. And that people need to stop this. That is what they want him to do. And they're probably going to force him to do it. I don't know if he's going to Texas. You can see the southwesterly direction. Again, this is a travel card. You can see mountains in the background. I always call those like the Sangha decrees. This is somebody headed in a southwest direction. Also, if you look at the direction the horse is in, it's southwest. And the imagery is of the desert. So I always think of this as the California, New Mexico, Arizona area, Texas. Sometimes it can be even Mexico, but the person's going on vacations usually or headed out. This is inverted. It's the first house, which leads me to suspect that that trip may be canceled. Thank you, Gail Champion. Awfully sweet of you. I'm trying to keep people calm. And thank you, Rosa B. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of the After Hours show. We convinced 1,474 people to hang with us. That's pretty cool. There's Trump's card. So Trump he may have to cancel the trip. Again, I don't feel he has I think his movement is restricted. Again, the base card, back and forth, Two of Pentacles, juggling rocky waters. What is above him? The authority. The authority is what sits below him. The victory card. He was sitting in victory. His past placement. Boy, look at that. Unreliable offers. He's got more stress ahead. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. I just don't see him having any support. Even his base is fed up with him. So I would not be, look, he might still go to Texas, but his cards suggest that his career and his power are over. And if I were him with this kind of cards, I would not be focusing on any of that. I would be focusing on doing what people tell me to do so that I can get a pardon for myself and my kids. He blew it. He was given an opportunity to resign a while ago, and he could have gotten everything he wanted. He could have had his TV show. He could have had everything. And he unfortunately listened to the wrong people. And it will not end well for him, I'm sorry to say. The best they can hope for is he gets off due to mental illness. What's interesting is that this is kind of passive infanticide too. Thanks, Karen. In the sense that by ignoring him, they're kind of starving him out a little bit, I think. And if they don't continue to feed the beast, it will collapse. And so I do think that we will start to see his support in the GOP has no reason going forward to prop this guy up. And they have every reason to starve him out, starve the media out, ignore him, invent a new narrative. They want to weaken the power of this person in the GOP because this is not the future of the GOP, and they can see the writing on the wall. If they're afraid of their constituents, they should just lay low and say nothing and let the feds handle everything. And that's probably what they're going to do. I don't think he has a lot of power based on what I'm seeing. I think that look, we know what Robert Mueller wanted. Robert Mueller wanted a complete, he wanted a full confession. I can't say that that's going to happen now. Right? If he had cooperated with the initial investigation, based on what it looked like from the remote viewings, we could have given him safe harbor, right? If he had agreed to meet with Mueller, yes, Mueller still would have sent everything over to the state, and he still would have faced state charges because that's what Mueller's job was. But Mueller might have been able to have negotiated some kind of confession in exchange for a pardon, and they would have buried his confession in exchange for immunity. He didn't want to play. He thought that he was going to win. He was told by his friends that this was a cakewalk, and now he finds himself and his children find themselves in a situation where no pardon is guaranteed. They were full of themselves, and so if I were going to say any karma change, I think that they made their karma worse. Because if they had taken the initial deal a couple years ago, they wouldn't be facing criminal charges and everything else. All right, we'll look at Josh Hawley's future next. Josh Hawley, the senator, is what we're looking at. Josh Hawley is the senator from Missouri who was supporting the protesters. People didn't know. It's a new beginning in DC. Look at that. 10 of Wands coming in. He's carrying a heavy load. There's a new beginning starting. He feels that he's safe. He's not going to get into any trouble. He did lose some. His funding for his campaign is lost. Look at that. He's got an inverted Ace of Pentacles. He lost some sponsorship. Chariot in the 4th house. Not healthy. He's got a health issue here. Also trickery, deception, harms his career. Ace of Wands inverted. Look, if this guy was hoping to get on the new TV show or start a new project with the Tea Party or anything like that, it's probably not going to be happening anytime soon because he pulled 2 aces inverted. The money card, crossing, lost, and then his near future Ace of Wands. I'm concerned about his health with a strength card in his 3rd house inverted. Coming out of trickery, though. Look at this. Which led to an end of new projects. The courts. Inability to let something go in the 8th house. So that's his adversary. They're not going to let this go. Adam Schiff, etc. Look, they're the minority now, and yes, the authorities, the Democrats are coming after these people. Look at this. He's facing multiple allegations. 7 of Wands is to be defensive. It can be multiple charges, and that's his outcome. His hope and his fear that he was a fool. He made it. Look, on some level, this almost looks like it was a career decision. He was trying to move into a particular, it almost looked to him like it was a marketing opportunity. It's all about money and loss of. He was campaigning in a way where he thought this can be a marketing tool. I can use this community in order to market my future career, and it all blew up in his face. It was the wrong investment. It's being perceived of as an investment and a poor investment, and it will not bode well for him. You can see his career cards, money cards, defensive. It's likely that he will be linked to some kind of financial connection with these individuals, and it's very likely that he will not be. Look, he's trying to have a new beginning starting spring of 2021, so he's trying to reposition his career. He may be able to still save his career, but he's lost a lot of sponsors, and a lot of his reputation has been harmed. So, yeah, I mean, it almost looked like he was somebody who said, how can I market my new career as a senator? I know that looks like a group of people that would give me money. I'll just sign up as part of that group and market myself that way. And then the statisticians tell me that I can move into that group. That's no longer marketable. Well, then I'll just take my committee and we'll reshuffle and reinvest, and then we'll roll out a new me by spring of 2021. If he can do that, then he can potentially save his career. If he can't do that, then he'll have to step down and probably be removed. But he appears to be under investigation for his involvement with his business involvement with certain people who may have been part of this attack. That's what it looked like. And it also looked like he was losing sponsorship as a result. Yeah. We'll look at the Supreme Court and the future of the Supreme Court. I really do think Clarence Thomas is going to be leaving. We'll look at the future of the Supreme Court next. Congressional Switchboard. Oh, thank you, Heath Morris. That is very kind of you. The future of the Supreme Court. We'll just do 2021, the Supreme Court. There's definite movement. You can see the Chariot here and then the Nine of Pentacles. So it does not look like I don't see them putting I don't see them putting a 10th person on just yet, but they could stack the courts in the future. It's still Nine of Pentacles, but you can see Chariot card movement. So someone's leaving. I'm worried that somebody could get sick from COVID. There's a COVID card there, but there's also other changes. Real confusion about the future of the courts. I wonder why. Two of Pentacles coming in as well. So there are a couple of people. It's not just one person. There are two or three people thinking of leaving the courts that question the future of the courts. Sotomayor is thinking of leaving early. That surprises me. Some of the liberal judges are also wanting to retire early. They're getting older and they're thinking of moving on. I think Justice Breyer may also want to step down if he hasn't yet. He hasn't publicly said so yet. Yeah, it looks like there's another person coming to the bench. See, I think this is going to be a man. It might be a man getting the next position. It's weird. I don't know who's leaving, but there's like 2 or 3 seats that are not stable right now on the course. But that's okay because we've probably going to have 8 years of Democrats. They really screwed themselves. I want to do a real quick check on Bernie Sanders because I think Bernie Sanders is probably the person who knows the most about these. Can you hear the protest? It's just really constant. I'm gonna get ear. They've just been protesting. Just goes on and on and on all day long. Okay, let me go ahead. I do live at Graz. But yeah, I got a buddy system. I'm part of the buddies. If worse comes to worse, I got my sister. I got people in California. I can go. I got safe harbor. I took care of everything. I got a full refrigerator. Yeah, I'm good. I would think everybody would want to be on SCOTUS, but you go into the energy of SCOTUS and there's like 2 or 3 people that are like, I don't have the energy for this anymore. Like even Sotomayor's like, I'm getting older. I got diabetes. I got health stuff going on. I can't keep doing, in a couple of years, we could see her step down. Thomas is definitely, I think, stepping down. It's the court is changing. I don't know if we're going to have to go with a 10th. He was thinking about doing a 10th. I don't know if it's necessary. I think the courts will be pretty balanced. I think the courts will probably be pretty balanced within the next year or 2, based on what I've seen. Okay, so there was something else I was in the middle of throwing on. We looked at Josh Hawley. He's trying to rearrange his reputation he's got 6 months to clean his reputation up. Lindsey Graham may be facing criminal charges in Georgia. We did that. Mitch McConnell's probably retiring early. Oh, that's right. We were doing Bernie Sanders. Thank you. People get annoyed that I lose my train, but I'm reading my notes, reading the cards, reading the comments, there's a lot going on here. So I apologize if I forget stuff sometimes. All right. What's going on with Bernie Sanders and what is his future with the upcoming administration? Yeah, he really is he's heartbroken. What happened in the Capitol, what happened with this, he is the person. Thank you very much, John. That's kind of you. I appreciate the donation. So, where Sanders is, this guy's got a big heart. The nation, the fact that homelessness is out of control, the fact that people are fighting, the current situation, he's heartbroken. He presents himself as a healer. I think actually he is somebody who presents as heartbroken by the current situation and desperate to help. Where he is at right now, Queen of Wands. He presents as Queen of Wands. So he seeks justice absolute, right? That's the mantra of that archetype. He's coming from a perspective of justice absolute. Nobody should go hungry. Nobody should be without a job. Children are going to bed without food. This is a crisis. We can't get enough food to the people. We are in a serious depression. They've a failed coup, but the coup is still going on. So he's very in touch with reality, leadership, compassion. He's heartbroken. He sees the situation objectively for what it is. Tower over him. He fears that we're in the middle of the coup. It hasn't stopped. It's still there. DC is at war. The coup is still going on. This is his fourth house. This is the fourth house of Bernie Sanders. It's what sits on his head. I don't think people realize how sensitive this individual's energy is. He's a very sensitive, compassionate person. What he sits in, his work. His past, trying to reach out to his constituents, some of whom voted for Trump. He's been trying to reach, this is not the way, trying to get them to come to the other side. Six of Cups, people that left, and then trying to get them back. The Six of Cups, bringing the children home, right? Calling my children home. Oh, thank you, Marie. I appreciate you. And the near future, Ten of Swords. I'm concerned that there are more attacks planned. There's more fighting. There's more fighting between. The truth of the matter is he doesn't want fighting between Republicans and Democrats. He's just very passionate about helping poor people and underserved populations. He feels there's no justice. Inverted justice card. He feels that there's going to be continuing fighting between him and the opposition. He feels that he's being pushed into a corner. And that people aren't listening to him, refusal to listen to the warning signs. I'm concerned about more attacks over the next 4 days as him. He's concerned about being repressed also. He's concerned about they're not giving him as much power over the situation as he needs to heal the situation. They really need to listen to Bernie Sanders because he understands these people. And he can reason with some of them. And it's a bad idea to isolate him the way I feel isolated when I look at his cards. And I'm sorry to say that it looks like there's more fighting going on over the next 4 days. And it's extremely painful for this individual to witness. You can see stressing out, knowing about what's coming, and then his near future, Ten of Swords. He's emotionally exhausted and tired of screaming at people who don't hear. I think that, it goes back to the remote views we did 2 years ago of the upcoming recession, depression, the bread lines, the rioting, and everything else we talked about when why we were going to need somebody that was going to be like FDR. I want to look at Elizabeth Warren because if Biden steps down early, I'm wondering if she could become the VP because she is the type of a person that would be very appropriate to help him during these times. Thank you, Kristen. So we're going to look now at the future of Elizabeth Warren. If she would take Kamala Harris's job, if Kamala Harris becomes president, or what her future is in the Senate. She plays a very important role in helping people in underserved areas, strengthening unions, etc. in the coming days. Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, I felt she was the most appropriate person to clean up what was coming. See, I try to be a positive reader. I don't want to tell people, I'm like, hint, hint, you might want to save your groceries and vote for Elizabeth Warren. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Something's coming. You might want to, yeah. She has good stars and the strength is with her. We're going to see more of Elizabeth Warren. She's not defensive. Look at that open energy, the inverted 7 of Wands. She's coming out of a defensive state, coming out of the Tower. What is above her? She's being asked by Biden to take a position. Here's 6 of Cups. Biden is not going to pick Bernie Sanders to do certain things. He's picking Elizabeth Warren. She's been asked by Biden to do something. Temperance in the 3rd house, very upset, lack of sobriety. She's very emotionally upset about what happened in DC. She's very, very upset about it. Look at this, 2 of Wands. She is going to be taken on as part of the upcoming Biden administration, and she's going to be given an important role. You can see here the Karma card and the Star. I knew that was going to happen to her. She's going to be in a very powerful position within 6 months. Somebody's leaving, and her 8th house. She's going to take the position of somebody who's leaving. Her hope and her fear, the mastery, not being able to achieve what she wanted to achieve, and the final outcome, the Queen of Pentacles, the powerful Queen, and also the Money Queen. She's going to get control of the banks, and she's going to get control. He's going to give her power over the banks. Oh, yes, he is. There's the legacy of the country. There's the money lady. He's going to give her, the banks are going to have to, the Fed and the banks are going to have to answer to Elizabeth Warren. That's her future. Within 6 months, she has control, a lot of control over what's gone down, and a lot of the crazy behavior and the investigation of criminal behavior with the stock market, which is probably going to cause it to plunge around late January, February. All of that has to be investigated. That's all going to be stuff that Elizabeth Warren's going to look at. Well, that was fun. Did everybody have a good time? Katie Porter too, yeah. Elizabeth Warren had the best cards of anybody we looked at today. It's actually, her time has just, the song for Elizabeth Warren is the Banker's song. You know the Banker's song, right? We've only just begun. I heard that song when I was meditating on her. And it was written for a bank. Sharing horizons that are new to, I gotta figure out the key for that. Together we've only just begun. Sharing horizons that are new to us. That's her song. She's on her way. Together. So we're going to be seeing more of Elizabeth Warren, and don't rule out the possibility she could be asked to be VP in the future based on those cards. All right. So I want to thank y'all for hanging with me during this brunch. I will see you next time. Same bad time, same bad channel. I'll try and shoot some more taped videos for people who like the taping as well. If you're still trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. Love and light, everybody. Thank you for spending Sunday with me. We're going to be okay. I promise. We will get through this. Yeah. There you go. Bye, everyone.